Unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Hello and namaste to all again. My name is Shobha Rao, living in Sacramento area from past 16 years. I welcome you all to today's event. Before we begin, let's go over our house rules for everybody's convenience and for the smooth flow of the event. The rules are very similar to the ones that we all attend these days very frequently. So here are some rules. Keep your videos on at all times. Keep yourself muted when not talking. Avoid cross-talking. Please do not exceed your time limit. To assist you with time, there will be a notice when they have 30 seconds remaining and 5 seconds remaining. If they continue to speak 10 seconds after their time is up, they will be muted. And we'll be muting and unmuting you during the event so that we have a smooth flow. And that will be done as needed. So those were the rules. Now I hand over to Mr. Shivesh Sinha, who is the moderator today. Over to you, Shivesh.
Hello, everyone. This is Shivesh Sinha. Some of you know me. So I'll be the moderator or Sutradhar or anchor or MC, whatever you want to call me. And I have here a wonderful set of panelists here with me. As you know, you just heard Shobha. Shobha Rao is one of our panelists and also the technical support. We have Venu Malesra, is the technical support, and thanks to him, because of him, we are watching this on YouTube and Facebook live. Okay, so please share it with your friends and family, supporters, so that they can hear you live. We have with us on the panel, we have Paresh Sinha, we have Satish Nagraj, and we have, I'm not seeing Guru. Do we have Guru?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so we have Gurudat Murthy, and then we have a team, and we have Manas Ray. And we have a team of people who brought this event to you. So thanks to the SAC for New India group. We have Bhavin Parikh, who we don't have because he lost his father this morning. We heard the news. So he had to back out from this event. And then we have Himanshu Bhai Patel. I hope he is also on the call. And there's one person who is on his way to vacation right now, and who also put in a lot of efforts in bringing this event, Venu Acharya. And let me know if I forgot somebody, anyone, so I can.
Himanshu Bhai is there.
Yeah, I said Himanshu, yeah. Okay, so let me tell you what SAC for New India means, right? Pretty, self-explanatory, right? We all Sacramento Indians, we have a vision, we have a dream, and we have some expectation from the new India, which is being, accelerated mode for last so many years, some 6-7 years now. And we want to contribute to that whole effort done by Indians all over world, as well as Indians in India. So about a year back, we all got together and decided to form this group. And it was an initiative done by the Sacramento Indians. The purpose is to develop the Indo-US relationship at an unofficial level. So, we all go into our community and create those relationships, reach out to the communities, project the right story about the mother country, and then also safeguard the interest of Indian citizens locally. So as you see the charter of the SAC for New India, obviously there will be questions related to some topics which concerns us, the Indians in US, Indians in India, and Indians abroad as well. And you as our leaders, you are already a leader, you'll be a future official leader of city council or the school district. We want to listen from you. We want to hear from you on what do you think about various issues locally, as well as anything concerning to the mother country. So without any further ado, we will start the program. So the way it will happen, let me just quickly tell you how it will happen. So we will be giving you 2 minutes to introduce yourself, an opening remark, and it should be primarily in terms of, so it's just a hint or a tip want to share. So it should be, what's your vision for your constituency? What is your vision for the Indian community? If you could keep your remarks, your comments around that, it would be really good. But feel free to use your 2 minutes as whatever way you want. Then we'll go to the questions. So we will be asking, we'll go one by one. So we'll start with district candidates, which are Hari and Sumita. Then we'll go to the council candidates, and then city council candidates. And we have here from Folsom, we have from Rancho, and we have from Lodi and Elk Grove. We are so lucky to have you guys. Thanks for joining us. So we'll go over the local questions, and we'll have the panelists asking you those questions. Then once you're done, and please remember, you'll be given 1 minute to answer that question. So this is time to test all your high school grammar and précis writing and all of that. So yeah, so choose your answer carefully and try to use your 1 minute. And we will be giving you a hint on when your 1 minute is going to be over. So I'll kind of sign you that, hey, you have 15 more seconds, and then once your time is over, I'll stop you. Okay. And then so once we go over all these rounds of the local issues related questions, then we'll move to issues pertaining or concerning the Indian community. And again, we'll go, we'll randomly pick candidates. So be ready to be spotlighted and answer the question. And our panelists will be asking those questions. I'm also one of the panelists, so you'll hear some from me also. And just to remind what Shobha just said about the ground rules, please mute yourself. And also one disclaimer, this is not a debate, right? And we are all friends here. This is not a debate. This is just like a town hall where you answer questions. We won't be cross-questioning you. So you will always be wondering, whether we got it right or wrong. So that's the beauty of this whole Zoom session. So let's go to, without any further ado, let's start with the school district candidates. And we have Hari Shetty from, for the Folsom Cordova Unified School District. And we have Sumiti Mehta for Natomas School Board. And we'll follow an Indian tradition. I think it's like a worldwide tradition, ladies first. So we'll go with Sumita first, and then Hari will introduce himself. 2 minutes, Sumita, and your time starts. Wait.
Sorry, my name is Sumiti, and you've been saying Sumita. So
okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You get 5 seconds for my mistake.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Sumiti Mehta, and I'm running for the Natomas Unified School Board. I'm a Natomas parent, education activist, and first-generation immigrant. Born and raised in India in a loving middle-class family who made educational excellence as a top priority. I have Bachelor of Arts and a graduate diploma in public relations and advertising. I have been staying in Natomas for over 11 years, and I have been volunteering in various capacities in schools and community. As a parent and a woman of color, I know the struggles faced by parents, and I know from my experience of transforming from an anxious parent with an accent to an established advocate for youth. My focus as a trustee will be student-centered decision-making, so that our focus as a district is always on providing the best education possible for all our students in all our schools. I will work to promote open discussion, better communication, and improved partnership with the broad coalition of diverse community stakeholders, including the district staff. In addition to this, I will make sure there is a proper outreach to Indian families and their input is taken into consideration while making a decision. As an Indian, I would also want to have Indian history included in the curriculum and Indian festival like Diwali celebrated in the community. Thank you.
Thanks, Sumiti, and apologies again for
That's okay. I just wanted to correct because we have audience, so they should know who
yes.
am I.
Yeah, and I'll repeat your name 5-6 times in the whole show. So
appreciate you.
Yeah, I'll get chances to improve my mistakes. So let's move to Shetty, Folsom, Cordova Unified School District.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shetty. I'm a resident of Folsom for 20 plus years now. I've been a community leader in the Indian associations and very close to some of the hearts of Indian people in this group. And I'm running for the school district because for the last 17 years, I've been an educator as a teacher. I'm a STEM teacher and also a mentor and coach for students around Sacramento. And before that, I was an engineer and a very high pro-educated person and very pro student-focused education. And what I've been seeing is that there's a lot of mismanagement and leadership mismanagement or issues with diversity and equity in education. So that's the reason I think I should be doing this and doing a better job for our district, because our district manages more than 200 million thousands, almost 235 millions of dollars, which means we got to have a better leadership, better innovative ideas. So in a brief sense, I would say equity, diversity, leadership, and innovation is so important. And while I'm doing that for the local community and local students and local families and teachers, I also think that our community is extremely important because we have such a great contribution in terms of taxes, our leadership, our technology, our all kinds of different ways, culture as well. So I still remember when I'd gone to some of the meetings at school district, we had an incomplete work on the textbook review, etc., which is an important thing. And like Sumiti just mentioned, culture, which such as our Diwali festivals and any kind of culture diversity, which must be really promoted in a very solid way. And we are the people who can really continue to contribute to this community in terms of diversity, equity, education, and leadership. I think we can do a better job compared to a lot of local communities. So I think we can be the best leaders and we can make it very nice and cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hari. You got like 7 seconds before you finished. So thank you very much. And great job, Sumiti and Hari, on keeping on time. Hopefully we recover some of the time we had with those technical difficulties. Okay, without any further ado, let's go to my hometown right now, Folsom. And keeping the tradition continued, let's start with my neighbor, Jaya Badiga.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for hosting this event, SAC for New India, and also the Indian Association and all the various members. Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, Vanakkam to everyone. I want to make sure that we get our cultural roots in. And Shivesh, I want an invitation to the Holi festival because you know, you are known for conducting that. The street, you know, resounds with music and color. And so the next time you celebrate, I'm just going to crash your party. But I know I'm using up my time. My name is Jaya Badiga. I'm running for Folsom City Council. I want the community to know that there are 2 seats, open seats in Folsom. So please vote for YK and me. And then the other thing that's new about Folsom this year is that there are no incumbents running. What that means is Folsom has a unique opportunity to set a path for our future that starts here in November. And we can make a difference in terms of what we as minorities and diversity representatives can bring to the community. And I want our community to make this a priority. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. You took like a little over 1 minute. So if you remember anything, you have your 43 minutes, seconds.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, can we move to Chalam, if you permit?
Oh, absolutely. Please do.
Okay, so let's move to our friend Chalam, YK Chalam.
YK Chalam. Good evening, everyone. Namaste. I thought of wearing this one, but it's going to be too much Indian. I saw the other participants, but I respectfully respect every panel member to see it as a contestant. My name is YK Chalamcherla. YK stands for Yedu Kondalu. If you want to translate the Telugu people to our Hindi friends or other groups, 7 Hills, Tirupati area. Once again, this is the first time Bobbie was mentioning. Thank you for hosting this one. And I see so many of us running for the city council. That's awesome. Woohoo! And I have been living in Folsom little over 14 years. First time I moved here to visit my friend's kid birthday party in 2002. The same weekend, we gave a $3,000 deposit to buy the house. Same weekend before I leave back to Bay Area. Fell in love with this town. You all know, love at first sight. When we were all in the engineering college or some colleges, we find somebody who is touching our heart, something like that. So that's how I want to describe my relationship with Folsom. And since then, my kids were grown up here, and I was very actively involved in the community. And my thinking is engaging in the community is the easy way to learn about community. You got to involve. And I earned a tagline somewhat similar to YK is always in the community. And you all know, some of you probably may know, I work for public sector throughout my life. I work for Indian government, Singapore government, recently up to last year, California government. And that relationship helps me to put Folsom interest first. I know we have other city people also here. Since Jaya and I are running for Folsom, our heart is more for Folsom. You will hear more and more.
Okay, your time is over.
And since, I'm pulling, no, since I'm going to say this one, last 10 seconds. I love Jaya said, we have 2 open seats. 2 open seats. Please pick Jaya and YK. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, YK. So, you should thank Jaya for yielding her 1 minute. So, and I know, all this happens in the council meetings, right? So it's okay. We'll take care of the time next time. Okay, so let's move to a little further, maybe about 10 miles, and go to city of Rancho, Cordova, where our friend and my colleague in Intel, Siri, is running for the city council. And I'm sure the name you have chosen, Sirisha, it's going to trouble a lot of iPhones. So let's go to Siri. Yeah. Siri, you there?
Yeah, can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, I'm an immigrant here that came to the US for my master's in electrical engineering. And then when we got married, we moved here to Sacramento nearly 19 years ago. And, when we were here, I was not really interested in the community or, it was me and my family. And then when my dad visited here to US, he saw this flyer in the Indian stores that said, we're starting a new Telugu.
Can you hold? Can we see Siri's video? I'm not seeing it. Yeah, now I can.
You can?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So he saw this flyer in the Indian stores that said, we're starting this new Indian community, Telugu Association. And he literally dragged me there, right? And so that's when I met the Indian community, the Telugu community, and they formed the Telugu Association. And, it was my dad who kind of pushed me into the community involvement here in Sacramento. And since then, I've been a chairperson at Indian associations, and that kind of led me and more into the Indian community. I'm an engineer by profession, and Intel has this program called PC Pals, which is, engineers communicating with school students to kind of improve technology. And I didn't involve in that in the beginning because I was under the impression that, hey, why would they want to see a brown person? But, I've realized that Rancho Cordova is nearly 50% people of color, and they're really hungry to see people of color, especially women in engineering, to see a person in power, which is why, I started and I joined the Rancho Cordova Leadership Program, which engages leaders committed to making a difference in Rancho Cordova, which is why, moving on, I'm running it for Rancho Cordova City Council. I'm the only woman, and I'm the only person of color running in a city that is in the top 10% in all of the United States in terms of diversity. I think my time's up. Thanks, Suresh.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Let's move to Bobbie from Elk Grove.
Namaste, Sat Sri Akal. You can all hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting. As many of you know, I'm the proud school board trustee for Elk Grove Unified School District, where I have served for over 8 years. I am now running for mayor of Elk Grove. But before that, let me say, I'm a proud Indian American. I was born in India. I was born in the beautiful state of Punjab. When we moved here at the tender age of 4. But I still carry my roots and my heritage deeply. It is part of my DNA, as it is for all of you. I'm running because we have a bully at City Hall, and I was called upon this higher calling for service from a lot of elected officials in my community. I have the support from the entire Elk Grove City Council, my Assembly Member Jim Cooper, Congressman Ami Bera, Senator Pan, as well as the Lieutenant Governor and so many others who believe in me and have seen firsthand the leadership qualities that I bring to the table. For the last 8 years, I bring my community together to find common sense solutions in the best interest of our residents. Right now, we have an absentee mayor who spends more time attacking people than he does spending time moving our city forward. This is not something that I was looking to do, but I was called to step up and serve because I am one of the longest serving women in our community. Elk Grove Unified is the 5th largest school district. Our budget and our influence is more than twice the size of the city of Elk Grove. So I bring a lot of leadership skills to the table. I'm an executive vice president for the lodging industry. I'm also an elected commissioner for Visit California, where I've helped create hundreds of thousands of jobs statewide and leading on the forefront on an economic recovery. My platform is restoring good governance, which includes integrity to the seat, which we don't currently have. Also public safety. Public safety is very important to our community. I'm proud to say that.
10 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds?
10 seconds, yeah, go ahead.
I'm proud to have the support of the Elk Grove Police Department as well as the Fire Department. I'm well known in my community. I've lived in Elk Grove for almost 30 years, and I look forward to making my Indian American community proud. Thank you.
Thanks, Bobbie. Thank you, thank you. So let's move to Amandeep.
Hi. So yeah, myself is Amandeep Singh. Am I on the video? I don't see myself.
You are,
okay,
yes.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm a first generation immigrant to this country. I moved here in 2000. I am right now a civil engineer working for the county of Sacramento for the last 19 years. And I have seen this city of Elk Grove growing from an unincorporated area into a city and then becoming a major city in the sense that it's the #2 city population wise in the Sacramento County. So I have seen that development happening all around Elk Grove, Rancho Cordova, city of Sacramento, Citrus Heights, because I was involved in that as a part of Sacramento area sewer district's development engineer. And now I'm working for the Water Resources Department. So I have seen what's going on. And since I have lived here for the last 20 years, my whole family, I have raised 3 kids in the community. And it feels like that the city has grown from a kid into an adolescent adult, and we need a different type of leadership. At this time, I'm running from the City Council District 3. It's an open seat. This is the first time that the city has moved into the by district voting pattern. Before it was by at large, where all the city voters, they vote for a district candidate. This is the time that only the district voters gonna vote for their own representative. So We have a crowded field. We have 5 candidates running in there, but I think I am the only one that has a diverse knowledge and diverse criteria that I have followed. I am a realtor on the side, and I would like to bring those skills to the city council. Thank you.
Thanks, Amandeep. You took exactly 2 minutes, so thank you for that. Okay, so we have one person from city of Lodi, and that's Mikey Singh Hothi. Do we have Mikey?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, everybody. Mikey Singh Hothi, running for the city of Lodi for Lodi City Council District 5. I apologize, I've double booked for the evening, so I'm going to have to jump off shortly after this here. But I'm born and raised here in Lodi. I'm really active in the community. I'm on the Lodi Fire Foundation Board of Directors, on the city's Tax Oversight Commission, and I work for Assembly Member Jim Cooper, who represents the cities of Lodi, Galt, Elk Grove, and Sacramento. Been involved for a long time. Within the city of Lodi, there's been a lack of diversity. They've had one person of color on the city council in the 200+ year history of the city. And I think there's a good opportunity to change some things up out here. We've got a very large Indian American population, a very large Sikh population. There are tons of boards and commissions out here. I'm looking to get some people involved from our community with those, and try to address the homeless issue out here, trying to get some basic good governance ideas across, and then also just creating green space throughout town. So I appreciate IAS and everybody involved in putting this event together and hearing from other Indian American candidates from throughout the region. And I just want to wish you all the best of luck. I know working for Assemblymember Cooper, we're proudly supporting Bobbie for Elk Grove mayor, and then for YK for Folsom. I haven't had the opportunity to meet some of the other folks yet, but I'm just really proud to see that we have such a burgeoning community here. And I just want to thank you all for putting yourselves out there, and IAS for putting together this event. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Mikey. And it was a little surprise for us to hear that you have to leave. What time you have to leave?
I have another commitment at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock? Okay, so you can stay for some time, right? So let's maybe, since we may lose Mikey soon,
And
why not?
I have a commitment too. I had shared with Bhavan by last week.
Okay.
So just reminder.
What time do you have to leave?
Like literally in about next 10 minutes or so, but please, I give the platform and my time to others who need equal amount of support.
Okay, so what we can do is, so I'm making some changes right now to the whole sequence. So what we'll do is we'll start with Mikey. We'll go in the reverse order as you guys did the introduction. So I'll start with Lodi, then move to Elk Grove, then Rancho, then Folsom, and then the district. Hope it works fine with everyone. Okay, I guess you guys will miss the second round, but hopefully we can get some recording from you on those questions and publish it later on. So again, let's utilize whatever time we have, and I would move to the first round of the questions, and the panelists who will ask question to Mikey are me and Satish. Satish, you ready? Satish, you ready? Unmuted?
Yes.
Okay, so I will start the first question and then I'll give it to Satish. Mikey, you ready for your question?
Sure, yeah.
So in case of a city budget crisis, which is often seen, right? Which service would you protect and which service would you trim?
Yeah, sure. So we're seeing this in Lodi with the pandemic. You have a reduction in, in some of the tax revenue that's coming into the city. I think first and foremost, the group that's always hurt the most, it's working class people, right? And I think during these times, it's especially important that we support good paying jobs. And what I would like to see is more public works projects throughout the city of Lodi. We have too much of a reliability on just one mode of transportation. That's jumping into your vehicle and driving. I'd like to see some more public transit out here and some more public works projects. If I were to cut anything, it would be just cutting outside contracts to folks who are contracted with the city. But I think during these times, it's especially important that we deeply dive into our city coffers and make sure that we're not hurting those that are most vital to our city, and that's the working people.
Thanks, Mikey. Thanks. One thing I forgot to mention, but you took care of that, is the time to answer is 1 minute, but you took about 1 minute, so that's good. So I'll move to Satish for the next question.
Yeah, thank you, Mikey. What are your plans to address youth and women empowerment?
This question is for me again?
Yes.
Mikey.
Plans for youth and women empowerment, you said?
That's correct.
Sure, yeah. So I'm 30 years old. I'm running for Lodi City Council. The average age of the council after the last election was 72 years old. There's a very young and burgeoning population within our city, but that perspective isn't heard on the Lodi City Council. So I think just myself as a candidate, I think I'd be able to change that. But also, if you look at the different boards and commission throughout the city, there's just a complete lack of diversity. I'm on the city's tax oversight commission. I'm the only person of color on that commission. There are no women on the commission. I think as a city council member, it would be my job to reach into these different communities of color, go to the temples and the mosques and wherever else to try and find quality candidates to serve in these positions of power, and then also to try to mentor and uplift them to run for political office. So that's actually, this is the main part of my campaign, and I think this is a main part of changing the political dynamics out here.
Thank you, Mikey.
Thanks, Mikey. So I'm going to ask the next question, and this is again to you, Mikey. What are your plans, especially to promote small businesses of colored people?
So working for Assemblymember Cooper, who represents Lodi, Galt, Elk Grove, and Sacramento, I have the benefit of seeing the different activities that each city is taking to support and uplift small businesses. And what I'd like to see here in Lodi is just any measure possible to try and support these folks and trying to remove permitting fees, providing PPE, so that people, these businesses that are already struggling during this recession and pandemic have the ability to have protective equipment for their employees. I also think that it's important that we provide grants. The city of Sacramento does a good job at this of providing grants to businesses that come up with good ideas and to address needs and issues that are currently unaddressed in the city. So this is just some ideas.
Sure, thank you. Okay, so now we move to Elk Grove, and again, keeping the tradition, we will be asking question to Bobbie first and then Amandeep. So in the panel, we have Shobha Rao and Satish Nagaraj. So let me move to Shobha for asking the first question.
Hi, hi, Bobbie. This is for you. The city of Elk Grove has most congested roads in the greater Sacramento area. Do you have any plan to address this issue, especially in the city's busiest streets?
I think Bobbie left.
She did.
Really? Okay.
She's not there.
So,
She left.
yeah, so let's move to Amandeep.
Sure.
Satish, you want to take it up?
The same question. Amar?
Amandeep?
Satish, it would be nice to repeat the question so that
Yes,
the other person.
sure.
Amandeep, this question is for you now.
Sure.
I can repeat the question. The city of Elk Grove has most congested roads in the greater Sacramento area. Do you have any plans to address this issue, especially in the city's busiest streets?
Yeah, very good question. The district that I'm going to be representing, it is the completely built out areas of Elk Grove. There's quite a few other districts that are not completely built out. So we see a lot of traffic congestion, but then my district itself has a pretty good connection to I-5 and Highway 99. So we are facing the issues because the rest of the city has to use those intersections and those connectors to the highway to get onto the highway for the early commute and evening commute. The best thing would be to build another interchange, which will be between Elk Grove Boulevard and the Grant Line interchange. That will take away quite a bit of traffic that's from the south of the city goes into the northern part of the city to get to the freeway. So that will be one plan. The second plan is to bring some jobs into the city. We are lacking on the job front. And with those jobs, we will see quite a bit of reduction in those commutes that clog our intersections and our city streets. So that will be my plan. I'm working on setting up a survey to get the jobs into the city, and I can talk about that more if my 1 minute does not go, is not done.
It's almost done.
Okay.
Thank you, Amandeep.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question will be asked by Satish.
Hey, Aman, what are your plans, especially to promote small business of colored people in Elk Grove area?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think for the colored people, I don't feel that small business is small business. We can't differentiate between if it is a colored people or somebody, because if somebody is opening a smaller business, certainly they need that business to thrive and that business to succeed so that they can become from a small time to a middle to the bigger group, whatever it is. So to help them out, there will be programs from the city. City has already initiated a $750,000 grant for the businesses that are struggling right now. Once I get into the council and I have access to more programs, I will find out more money so that we can extend that $750,000 grant that right now the city is proposing for businesses that are struggling. I can continue to extend that and maybe even increase that by some amount.
Thank you, Amandeep.
Thank you. Shobha, you are the next panelist to ask.
Okay, here is my next question, Amandeep, for you. How would you protect persons of Indian origin from hate crimes? What assistance would you provide them if you get elected?
Yeah, actually, notoriously, Elk Grove is the only place where we saw that a few years, not few, but in 2012, there was two Sikh gentlemen who were grandfathers actually were walking on the street and they got killed, and that case never got resolved. So your question is very close to that, and I live actually right there where those guys got gunned down. City has already committed many resources, but the thing is, we need to have our identification well known into the community, and that is the only reason I'm running for this seat, to show that people that okay, we are other brown people, we are also here. It's not just white and black. There is another community that's in between, and they are good people, and those good people need to thrive in these areas and these countries and these cities, so that they can bring their own perspectives, their own great things that we have learned back in India. We can bring that and make a big deal to these cities. So that's my only reason to be in this race, so that I can have a venue for people to know that we also exist, and we are great people, we are helpful people, we volunteer in everything that either city or the community needs, and they can talk to us, they can come to us anytime they have any questions, but there should be no reason for them to hate us. So that's my way of looking into your question and saying that, okay, we are trying to educate them. We are trying to show them that we exist also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks. So let's move to the district candidates. I know Hari and Sumiti are waiting for a while since they introduced themselves. So we'll start with Sumiti. And the question will be asked by Manas Ray. Manas, are you there?
It's
I
muted.
think he wrote in the message that he had to leave.
No, he has to leave at 6.
Okay.
You won't be spared, Sumiti.
And I'm okay if you want to go with Hari. I'm not in a hurry as well, and equal opportunity to everybody. So if Hari wants to go in first, I'm okay with that as well. But if you want me to go first, I can do that as well. So it's up to you, Hari. You want to go first?
Whatever it takes. I mean,
Okay,
whatever
go ahead.
the panelists decide, and yeah.
So nice of Sumiti.
Let's
Let's go with Hari first.
Thanks for being so generous.
So, okay. So Manas, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So question is both Hariji and now the reverse Sumiti.
Sumiti.
Okay, good wishes.
I have a quick question for all of you. Why is it so difficult to say Sumiti? Is it difficult?
No, this is a question of, the what are the common names and other things, Sumiti, So anyhow, I apologize. It has been, again, I'm sorry. So the question to Hariji, which is for both of you, that you people must be aware that there is a movement going on for quite few years about CA textbook containing anti-India and anti-Hindu texts, and to remove them. So we would like to know where you stand on them, and if you support this movement, how you are going to help it as a school district.
Manasda, this is a second round question. So I would like Sumiti and Hari to forget about this question. Okay. Okay. The first round question is supposed to be about the local issues.
Because there is this, I'm sorry, I'm really messing it up. How will you protect Indian kids from hate crimes and bullying? And do you have any special program in mind that if you are elected, something new will be introduced in your school district?
So I just had a meeting with the group of Chenap in Folsom. It's a Folsom Cordova Unified School District group. And the kids of color are really kind of talking about how to remove the SRO, which is the student resource officers. They've been installed in the schools. They spend about $750,000 for the police officers, just 2 of them, throughout the school district, try to control all this bullying and drug and racism, sexism and all that. But really it's not working. And particularly this is against the people of color. Now, generally they say people of color like, Hispanics or Latinos or, African Americans, but also includes Indian kids like Mr. Ray mentioned. So it's important to install more counselors, health people, the all monitors and volunteers and parents, so that the culture can be changed. So the bullying and all those things against the people of color can be stopped. So there must be more, that money can be diverted towards this program that can be done.
Sorry, and one compliment to all you candidates. You know, you should pat on your back for keeping to the time. So thank you very much. Right, I really don't need to do that role of keeping the time. So
nice question, Mr. Ray. I like that question.
Thank
that
you.
doesn't mean that you take 5 minutes for the next one. So let's move to the next question, which I'm going to ask.
No, Shiva, same questions for Sumiti.
Okay.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right. Thank you. My name is Sumiti, and I'm answering this question. So I'm also a published author and a guest contributor to the ABC 10 digital series Moms Explain All. So I have written extensively about the gender and the sex issues. So I know there is a racism or things going on. And as a parent, I have written about it. And I have, in my articles, I have written what can we do to make it better. And I think with the school resource officers, we also need to have social emotional counselors to make sure if these kids are getting bullied, what is the underlying reasons about it, how these kids can be getting counseling to get over it, and accountability in each schools where the bullying is happening. So the principals, the admin should be accountable onto why these things are happening and what can we do to make it better in each school, not just one school. And there are a lot of things that I know that I can do because I've been on the show and I've written about it, and 1 minute is not enough, but these are the things that I'm very passionate about talking from a parent perspective and also from a teacher and a classroom perspective. So yes, these things should be taken care of and accountability should be there if the bullying is happening in the classrooms.
Okay, so thank you. So since Manas already asked that question, let me bring that question back. Manas, you can ask that question.
Okay, I'm repeating it because as I told that you must be aware that there is a movement going on to remove anti-India, anti-Hindu texts from California school textbooks. So we'd like to know where you stand on this issue, and if you support it, what you are going to do after you got elected. Hariji.
Yeah, may I go first? Yeah. So and I'm obviously in favor of that movement because my culture and roots are from India and a pretty strong support of Indian culture and diversity. And I think one of the things is that I'm an educator. I strongly believe that I'm an educator. So one of the things I do all this as an educator, always to educate people. It includes not only students, but also the adults, such as people in the board, people in the Board of Education in California. So when we had the last movement in California, Department of State, I was talking to a group of officers inside about the culture because a lot of people are not aware of our culture. So like whatever we have been fighting for. So that's where we got to educate them and try to promote what is supposed to be done. And where there's so much of miscommunication, misguiding, misrepresentation by certain authors. So that's when we got to step in and educate our own people. Within the board, there are 5 people. They must be aware of that so that we can just make sure they, support in terms of this good movement.
Thanks, Hari.
Thank you. Sumiti ji.
Yes, so of course I'm in for the moment because I know that this is not okay. It is also kind of bullying if I see from a parent perspective. And from my end, I'm not an elected official, but in my community, I have done presentations on Sikhism awareness because November, the California Board of Education said it's a Sikhism awareness month. So I and another parent leader in the community, we did the Sikhism awareness presentation, and we did the similar thing in Diwali, creating awareness about the Diwali festival in different schools, not just one. So there are various schools we went in and we gave the presentations about Diwali, we gave the presentation about Sikhism and talked about it, and then we have a big book outside North Natomas library. We made sure that the kids from different cultures come and paint the book. So they get an opportunity to learn about it and the parents also learn about it. And then we have Natomas First, which is a local newspaper. We make sure that they cover it as well. So these are the little steps that I've already taken. And I'm sure if I'm elected, then I will be able to work with the other board members to get these things done in the community. Thank you. I think 1 minute is over.
Thanks, Sumiti. So we'll come back to you for the third question. So this time, you first. What steps would you first, yes.
Sure.
what steps you would take to improve counseling service for college admissions?
That is very important thing. Not just the counseling services is important, but also the partnerships that we can have for career technical education in the high school students is very, very important. And the counselors are important just not to guide students to go to the college, but also to guide them that it is just not going to one particular college, but there are a lot of options that are available to go over there. And especially kids whose parents do not speak English language or who are not born and raised here, they have issues. They do not know what the colleges offer, what are the deadlines, what are the scholarship deadlines. And I think every high school needs at least 2 to 3 counselors, and they could have one-on-one session, not just with the students, but I think the parents should be included as well with all these sessions so that the parents know, yes, what they are getting into. And with all these college applications, I think financial education should be a subject for high school students as well, because everybody gets into a debt once they go into a good college, and especially with Indian kids, you know, we all aim for very good colleges, but then the debt is one thing that we don't want to. So financial education is very important for me as well, besides having counselors to tell you about the college applications and everything. So that's where my stand is right now for that.
Thank you. Hari, if you understood the question, the next.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite questions because I also run my small tutoring business, and I know how much money and stress parents and students and teachers, everybody puts into this particular topic. And Sumiti just mentioned that. I mean, we need really more counselors in the school. We got to invest on that. And then and also I worked with one of my friends who is an author who has been my a senior tutor in the system. He wrote a book recently, Demystifying College Admission, and I'm also kind of a co-author with that. Basically, parents spend thousands of dollars on this. And you know how much, there's so much scam is also going on. You know, some of the scam, which is under the carpet, which is going on with the rich people and affluent groups. They can do whatever they want to. They can send their kids to the Ivy League colleges. And I do on the side mentor lots of kids and parents on this issue, because I, in fact, had a meeting with one of my students yesterday from Folsom High School. So we got to make sure there are more counselors, more education to parents and teachers and students, everybody, so that they can go to the best college of their dream, not just going to the college for the sake of going. And also we should work for the scholarship for our community. We don't get much of scholarship, by the way.
Thanks, Harry. Thank you. Okay, so let's come back to the city council. Siri, you are ready?
I'm listening.
Okay, so there are no first or second here.
Yes,
So
everybody vote for me.
So you will be asked questions by Mr. Guru and Mr. Paresh. So I'll switch to Guru for his first question. And remember, you have 1 minute to answer.
Yeah, thank you, Shivesh. I have seen Siri because she lives in my own community, and I've seen she's very proactive lady when it comes to arranging things, because I was a member of one of the programs which she organized. Really, she takes the task and things done. So the first question, Siri, is like, since we all live in Rancho, Cordova, we see off of 50 East, we are seeing a lot of new developments that are coming around, and there is a projection that we might have more than 15,000 houses that are being built. With all the Melrose that we are paying, and with all the new amenities that is coming in, we are lacking elementary schools, and we are lacking middle schools and high schools in our area. So we are not getting the value for the Melrose that we are paying. So my question to is like, what are your plans to prioritize this, and how are you planning to address this issue so that at least we have some new schools coming up? I have a follow-up question to that. I will ask you once you are done with this.
Right. As you know, actually, Rancho Cordova has 4 different school districts that we have. And in Anatolia, as a resident of Anatolia and as a mother of 2, I completely understand where this question is coming from. You know, we live here in Rancho and our kids have to be bused miles to their middle school and high schools, or, you know, they have to go to their neighboring school districts if they want to go closer. But, you know, as I hear that there are plans to develop middle and high schools for our neighborhood, and I've been talking to the city council and this current school district to see how we can work this out. So when I'm represented when I'm elected as your representative, I would really like to work with the EGUSD school district and the FCUSD school district to accelerate these plans on building schools sooner and faster based on how these constructions are happening.
Okay, thank you very much. I think you answered my follow-up question as well. Thanks.
Okay, so let's move to Paresh for the next question to Siri.
Thank you, Shivesh, and hello, Siri. You may have heard in the recent time there has been an increased number of cases, especially crime-related and homeless-related, and it's not only in Sacramento but nationwide. And Sacramento and the greater Sacramento is not an exception at all to that one. So my question to you, Siri, is how would you address the drug and crime and homeless-related situation in Rancho Cordova?
Right, as you mentioned, right, this is not just a Rancho Cordova problem, but here in Rancho Cordova, I've personally volunteered in the homeless outreach programs, and I've seen the struggles that the homeless people go through. Now, some of these homeless people, they've fallen on hard times and need our support to get back on their feet. You know, it's not like one solution fits all for the homeless. They're there for a variety of reasons. Those that are fallen on these times because of drug abuse, we need to kind of find a path for them to get back into normalcy, like kind of, you know their names, know their stories, and see what their issues are to see how we can help them. You know, I believe it's time here to establish a new committee consisting of, you know, residents, business owners, nonprofit. Here in Rancho Cordova, we have the Heart, educators, the interfaith community to kind of brainstorm and come up with a more comprehensive plan that's more realistic and more workable to get them back to normalcy.
Thank you, Siri. Over to you, Shivesh.
Okay, so Guru, you have another question, looks like.
Yeah, my second question is like on the Sunrise Boulevard, which is one of the main roads which leads from Rancho Cordova to El Grove, and that is again where the new communities are being built and a lot of people are buying their houses there. We have a rendering plant which burns the dead corpse of animals during the evening time, and it produces a lot of foul smell, which is creating a lot of environmental pollution as well as air pollution, and it is very hard to breathe during the evening times. So there were plenty of petitions that was raised during 2008 till now. So there is no traction on what are they going to do with that. Are they going to remove it out or replace it somewhere else? So you as a city council member, what are your plans, or do you have any status updates since you are already working with the city council so that we can understand how this can be taken out and put in a different place far away from residents?
Yeah, tell me about this, right? So you plan a party or a get together on a Saturday, and then you go out and all your guests are there, and then it's stinking foul, you know, and you have to cancel and change all your plans, you know. You're right. This is actually a big problem on this side of 50, and I have been talking to the city council. The fact of the matter is this rendering plant is not within the jurisdiction of the city. It's actually something that the county people have to work on. So the city manager has been working with the county officials to move it, and they're looking for a new place to move the rendering plant. You know, it takes a while to move something as big as this, and they're trying to find a new location. There are plans that are in progress to move it. It's just going to take some time. So they've heard our voice loud and clear, and they're looking for a new location. It will happen, but it's going to take some time.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the update.
Thank you. So I know Jaya and Chalam have been waiting for a while. Are you still awake, Jaya, Chalam?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good morning. Okay, so be ready because we have Satish and Paresh gonna ask you these questions related to local issues. I'll start with Satish first.
Hi, Jaya.
Hi.
Hi. So this is regarding the pinhole water leaks in Folsom City. Hope you are aware of pinhole water leaks in Folsom City. More than 600 incidents have been reported so far. What would be your action on this issue as a city council member?
No, you're absolutely right, Satishji. It's pretty tragic, especially given the circumstances, right? We have not only the pandemic, we have people working from home, we have the real estate market, which is really booming and hopefully will support the economy. And then you have the issue of the pinhole leaks. So the latest that I know about this issue is that the city is expecting results back from testing from 2 different test sites. One was, I want to say, related to the University of Virginia, and another company that's testing it to see what may be the problem. But the complaints from these residents range not only with regard to the pinhole leaks, but also to fluctuating water pressure in the area. And now we as residents don't know what's happening. I attended the meeting that City Hall had on this virtually, of course. I was, listening in and watching online. But some of the comments were that one resident said that water quality has changed so much that even his dogs would not drink the water coming out of the tap. So I don't know whether something has changed with regard to the chemical alteration that could affect how water, between the pumping stations and the transmission to the local community, if that's being affected and if that's causing it. But this is a big issue. There's potential for a ton of liability. But more importantly, we need to care for our residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaya.
Paresh will be asking the same question for Chalam.
Yes. Chalam?
Chalam, you there? I don't see you.
Where?
YK? Is YK there?
I think he's dropped off, I guess. I can't see him here.
So Jaya, you have to take all the bullets.
Okay.
Oh, he's trying to join.
Oh yeah, he's coming back.
Are you okay?
YK,
Yeah,
there?
Yeah, he has been admitted right now. So just give him a few seconds.
I think he's muted.
He's good to go.
YK, you're back.
I'm back. It's all of a sudden something happened. I'm dialing in from my cell phone now.
Okay. Okay, so you have to speak slowly, I think. I'll give you maybe 10 extra seconds for that. Did you hear the question what Satish asked?
Hi, Chalam.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
This is regarding the pinhole water leaks in Folsom City. More than 600 incidents have been reported so far. What would be your action on this issue as a city council member? Chalamji?
Yeah, I think really taking this issue beginning of August, and people reported, and because it is several incidents happened, then this is a big question mark. Is this because of the products they have used, the copper pipes, or the city water supplies because of the chlorine and all those? City acted right away on a very immediate fashion and consulted the third-party investigation. They are waiting for the investigation report. I think I won't do anything different than consulting the third party because there are a series of incidents happened. And the city is eagerly waiting to get the report and take a faster action. If it is something related to the city water, they're going to act on it very soon. And even some of those reports came out, there is a chemical called orthophosphate may help to stop the corrosion on the copper pipes. So they are acting it right away already. So city is on a fast track mode. And probably I'll be on the same way, act fast, because it is a damage for hundreds of homes. Thank you.
Thank you, okay.
Okay, so the next question will be asked by Paresh.
Thank you,
And
Shivesh.
maybe Chalam can go first.
So there has nationwide increasing debate as well as demand on defunding police. So my question is to Jaya as well as for YK. What is your view on defunding the police movement?
And YK, you can go first.
YK, go first. Okay. You know, defunding the police, public safety, they are very intertwined. Yes, I did hear recent incidents. I was there. 4 out of 5 rallies because of the Black Lives Matter. It is touching my heart. And if you see the city in general, 2 decades ago, Folsom City was known as a prison city. People sometimes scared to come to here 2 to 3 decades ago. But it's changed that appearance of Folsom from prison city to one of the safest cities to live in California. So I'm going to cautiously think whether that is applicable, the defunding right away for Folsom. But certainly we are going to take the citizens' input and then act on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chalam.
Thank you. Back to Satish. Oh, sorry. Next is Jaya, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaya. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Paresh, for asking this question. And it is vital to not only our city, but also the nation. So I don't like the word defund, and I don't believe in defunding the police. What I do believe in is establishing networks of trust, of communication, and of connection with law enforcement. We as minority communities need to have the assurance that we're not going to be treated any differently than any other law-abiding citizens. And one of the things that I would like to see is specialized training. We know that homelessness is an issue and also could be a security issue if there are mental health underlying issues for that cause. We know that drug abuse could also be a homeless issue, but also an underlying safety connection and issue for our kids and our communities. So why not have some of this funding that's allocated not just for like this high level, you know, military kind response, but also to involve specialized training towards dealing with these local specific problems that we're having and find ways that law enforcement can connect better with our community, including our minorities. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, YK. Over to you, Shivesh.
Okay, thank you, guys. Back to Satish. He has another question for you guys.
Yes, this question is for both Jaya and then Chalam. So, you know, the current economic conditions due to COVID and so many things going on around. What is your plan to attract more small businesses to the Jaya first?
Okay, sure. So one of the things that I've talked about pretty often in my campaign is that I want to have, especially in the pandemic, small businesses have access to technology resources so that almost all of them have an online presence. We don't have that right now. And I want to say that my knowledge is at least a third of our small businesses don't have that. So one of the things that I'd say is let's provide some kind of a technology toolbox resource where, you know, most of us here running campaigns, we've done our own websites or we've set up, you know, social media accounts, or we've used technology to help get our name out. I think small businesses can do the same too. And we as a city need to work on connecting resources to them. And in order to attract more businesses, I think we need to focus on providing a business-friendly platform, not just to a chosen few, but to all of those who want to try, and maybe incentivize, you know, especially lease occupancy, because we know that commercial lease occupancy right now is almost at an all-time low. So those would be some of my ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaya. The same question for Chalam.
Yeah, you know, I like the idea what Jaya was mentioning, enabling them technology. their websites, anything they can do business online. That is probably very important right now. I'm in 100% agreement with her. And in addition, attracting the more small businesses in town. I probably will take the different route, attracting the more high-paying jobs to Folsom and build the Folsom Intel extensions. And when the high-paying jobs comes to our town, obviously small businesses are going to be flooding in because the income is the main driver. And Folsom South is expanding. Obviously, there will be a huge growth for small businesses. So my focus is going to be what Jaya said for COVID. Yeah, we got to invest some time and energy, and through the chamber, help them. And also, chamber here in town is doing Folsom Stronger Together campaign. Maybe emphasizing that more is my preference. Thank you.
Thank you, YK. Over to Shivesh.
Thank you. So we have all the three questions asked, right? Satish and Paresh?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And guys, I want to see some action. I need to see some disagreement, even if it's not a debate. So, just saying, hey, I agree with Jaya, it doesn't help, YK. By the way, it's just on a lighter note.
When there's a good point, we need to support. And I am both with Jaya and YK here. They all have wonderful points. So I'm with both you guys.
Okay. Awesome. I'm glad you are not competing with them.
I'm glad. That's a tough competition right there.
She needs all votes for her. She needs all votes.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to check with my team so that I don't miss. So are we done with the first round?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Nice. So let's take a big, deep breath and get ready for the second round. And there will be three common questions asked by our three panelists, who are Paresh and Guru and Satish. And just to keep some thrill there, a little suspense, thrill, and action, I'll randomly pick the candidates, though all of you will be picked. So you won't be left out. It may be just that you are the first, or you're the last, or you are in the middle, but I'll just pick it randomly so that you have to give a spontaneous answer, except for the last candidate who will be all ready for, with all the answers. Okay, so let me invite Mr. Guru. Guru, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so he will be asking the first question in this round. And let me remind you, these questions are related to the interest of the Indian community, as well as the mother country, India. And you have 1 minute to answer. So again, please use all your skills to put all your answers in 1 minute. And again, you're doing very good, so I don't think we'll need to watch it for 1 minute. So over to Guru.
Yeah, India is becoming one of the super powers, which is going to happen, which is happening. And it has become a political practice in some cities by city council members to pass as a resolution against the Indian domestic and international decisions taken by a democratically elected Indian governments. So what are your stands on these type of political practices?
Okay, drums start beating, and I will pick Siri.
Okay, so as Guru mentioned, right, when the laws are passed by a democratically elected government of India, they believe in safeguarding the constitution and they take it very seriously. So I think they, take into account all of the facts that are going into their decisions. So I would be very respectful of the internal Indian matters and let the Indian Parliament, the Indian government, decide on the matters. And it's sitting here, I think there's a lot more to take into account. So I will abide by the decisions that are made by the democratically elected government of India.
Good, thank you. Okay, who's next? Hari, are you ready?
Always. So
Go ahead.
I think Siri kind of answered very well, but at the same time, I would say India is a sovereign country, and India has all the reasons and all the capacity to do whatever it wants to do, because in the last 7 decades, India has been the strongest democracy in the world. I mean, think about India and its partner, Pakistan. There's so much huge difference and so much respect for India. Even one thing that we can do here as leaders and anybody here is just keep quiet. Don't say anything about it, right? Or if you say something, you got to speak in support of it. If I were to speak something, I will speak in support of it. Otherwise, if it is not related to the matters here, I should be shut up. But if somebody talks against it, I would stand for my country, because originally that's my country. I'm kind of a double citizen in a way. I would stand for it. For example, I'm the vice president of Democratic Party in Folsom, and there is some person from our own party in another city. In fact, I think I saw Vijay is here, and we said that person cannot come here because the person talks against India is not in our favor. So doesn't matter which party you belong to. Stand is very clear.
Okay. Jaya, back to you.
Thank you. So this is a complex question, right? And I agree that on principle, it's a democratic country. It's making decisions and policies based on its structure. But I think where we need to pay attention is, let me give you an example. So recently, I was shocked to read that Cisco had a case filed against it for allegations of employment-based discrimination based on caste, right? And to me, I'm like, wait, what? Do we have laws against discrimination based on gender, based on race, based on age? And now we're looking at caste-based discrimination in a Fortune 500 company in the United States. So what's going on? So to me, that kind of an area would be something where I would say, especially if it's in the Bay, if it's a city in the Bay, where these connections are there or the companies are there, I would say a resolution that we're not going to allow that kind of discrimination to apply here would be fine. Where I would draw the line is when there's a policy that would significantly affect the views of majority of the community members living here or has no connection at all to my city is where I would draw the line. Thank you.
Thanks, Jaya. Amandeep, you ready?
Yes, sir. So that's a very good question. And as Jaya said that there is a lot of issues with it. We are a global community nowadays. Just because one democratic country has came up with some law, that doesn't mean that because they picked it up, that the other party cannot say that you did a great job or you didn't do the right thing, because everybody gets questioned about what they did. If we make a forum like this or something and say, okay, we're gonna decide this thing for us, and we're not gonna look to the other side of the concern that what they have. I'm coming from a minority. I understand you guys probably don't feel that thing in India, but when you look at from the minority angle of it, when they get what the blacks are getting here, that's when they realize that, okay, we need somebody outside to support us because we are having those problems in that democratically country. If you look at the US Constitution and you look at the Indian Constitution, UP used to have 80 member parliaments. Other states have 1 member parliament. Understandable, but give me some few minutes because other people have said things in the favor. If you don't listen to the other side, how are you gonna make a good decision? So maybe give me a little bit more time, please. So in this country, we have 2 senators from each state, and they did it purposely so that each state weighs equally. We are so diverse country that, okay, Tamil Nadu, Telugu people, Andhra people, all these people have their different issues, different concerns, different languages, different thought processes, different even deities. Everything is different. So in our situation, when we are ruled, yeah, it's a democratic country, it has its reasons, it has its powers, it is given the democratic color, and they can do whatever the majority wants. Understandable, nothing wrong with that. But if the majority is always going to say, okay, this is right and this is wrong, or minorities are not getting their fair share, certainly they're going to have to go out somewhere where somebody else holds their hand and say, okay, we will be with you. And that's what we are facing right now. So if we can fix that, there will be no proclamations, no agendas going through these cities if we get the same treatment back in India. So that needs to be looked into. That's all.
Thanks, Amandeep. Thanks. Yeah, you took almost 2 minutes, but
appreciate that. But
yeah.
I just feel that because it's a different tone on the whole thing, it needs a little bit extra time. Sorry about that, but thank you for it.
Okay, Sumiti.
All right, so I'm telling you beforehand, my whole family is here, so I'm not well versed with the politics in India at all. But according to this question, which I could understand, I actually could relate with Amandeep saying that there are times when we think as a minority that this is not right, but we do not have the connection, the political power, or the representation to show it that we can do it. And I think social media right now is playing so much of negative effects on our decision making as people as well. And also, I think that it depends on, I'm a Congress person. So for me right now, when I think of India, I think it's as divided as we see in US. The racial, if it is not racial, but there is religious issues are still very, very evident there. So here. So I think we need to have more minority people come up, take the dais and take their issues. As we are doing it over here as an Indian, we are doing it. I think we need to do that over there in India as well. And I might not answer the same question, but that's how it is. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, this is the forum about, right? You have to express your views on these different issues, right? So great. Thank you very much. And the last person to speak on this question is Mr. YK Chalam.
Okay, now I have advantage because I heard so many. Just to let me repeat the question and correct me, Guru sir. If the policies is being made back in India by the government, those are the government policies. In here, the city councils in United States are condemning, or is that the way I am understanding some of the things?
Yes, that is correct. We had the context to this question was we had some incident which happened in Seattle where the local council over there came up with a resolution to not agree to this. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I just want to make sure I'm following my colleagues, my friends saying here. To start with, some of the things I have to agree. When Siri said, if the Indian government has made the policies and these are the decisions for the Indian government, here the local governments or even the United States until up to the secretary of the state, those kind of people are foreign policy related people can probably comment on it. But the local city council, I personally, if I become the city council member, we should not be entertaining the discussion on the foreign countries. I know me being the proud Indian here, I can speak for this group. Likewise, there are so many countries here. Those countries may be making some policies. And if our city council continue debating those policies, it is a never-ending business to talk about the foreign country policies here. And this is where I think I'm going to call out our good friend Jaya. She said, let's focus to our Folsom related problems or Elgro related challenges. So I'm not going to answer your question. I probably is not going to entertain the policies already being made to come to this country at the city level to debate and discuss and make the resolutions. I'm probably in a disagreement on that.
Okay, thanks, YK. I think I covered all the candidates. So we are about 25 minutes before we finish this event. I think we should have enough time. Please respect the time because we want to give equal opportunity to every candidate. So let's go to the next question, which Mr. Paresh is going to ask.
Thank you, Shivesh. And good evening to all the candidates. My question to all of you is, or maybe just I want to just put a context before I put a question. As I heard from each one of you, you are either a first generation Indian or second generation Indian. And this forum is also about the Indo-American candidates. So my question to you is, what is India for you? And to answer that one, what you can describe it, within your constitutional power and authority, what will be your reaction to any public or private attempt to destabilize or malign India's image?
Okay, we'll start with YK because he went last in the.
Yeah, I think Sumiti probably mentioned, I'm going to mention what she said. If the things are happening here locally, focus on it. If, for example, Bobbie is not here, a bullying for Indian kid, it's Indian, I'm talking here. It's the highest priority for being Indian American to address that one. I'm 110% on it. Likewise, again, back home, if somebody is doing it, probably, control is very less. And not understanding what's going on, the full details, commenting on that is not a great thing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if you understood the question. Maybe Paresh, can you repeat this? And then if you want to respond to that differently, because I didn't see the answer very much relating to what Paresh asked. I
Can
hope
you write the
others also.
question on the chat so that everybody is able to see that? It'll be easier.
Sure, I can.
Yeah,
Right.
we can do that. Pareshji, you go ahead. I'll put that.
Okay. So just to elaborate a little bit, basically, you may have heard a lot of activities are happening here by various organizations and various groups. And their ultimate goal is to defame India. And you being contesting for a public office, there may be opportunities where you may get associated with, or you may get forced to participate in those events, or people may come and ask your reaction to those things. So my question to you is, if any public or private attempt you will come across whose intent is to destabilize India or defame India, what will be your reaction to it? How would you react to it?
Yeah, okay. So let me probably answer in a different way. We had a Gandhi statue inauguration here. We all went, who wants to support him? He is the father of the nation, India. That's one. And recently, there was a CAA thing happened, and Indian Muslims approached me, and they want to talk to how things are happening back home. And the same way, the pro team, CAA pro team, CAA against team, both happened. Since I have no clue about the CAA and understanding, I attended both to understand. So, which I haven't seen anything direct anywhere, defamiliarizing the India. It is, they're talking about the challenges in India. And this is where Sumiti was mentioning earlier. And there is, country is so much divided and all those. So first I have to understand by going there. And if somebody speaks, I think this is where I'm going to be like Hari, against India and this one, because they are not Indians. I'm for India. I'm all for India. Thank you.
Good, thank you. So let's move to Amandeep.
I thought you'll say Sumiti.
Sumiti.
You can go first if you want.
I'm randomly picking people.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Sumiti is going to be very popular.
My name, actually.
Okay, Amandeep, your time starts now.
Okay. There is no reason to be participant into destabilizing or listening to any negativity about anything, but I will agree with YK that to understand something, to find a better understanding in yourself, you have to listen to the opposite view. And that's why if there is anything that's going on, as the original question is, you have to at least listen to their concern, listen and see if you can resolve it. Because just by a couple of people speaking something, countries don't get stable or destabilized. There is a big thing that needs to destabilize, and it could be that somebody in India is doing it, not here it's happening. It gives a feeling that it's happening here, but may not be here. So listening to the other view and trying to come up with the solution for that in your city is the right thing for a city council member, and that's what I will do.
Thanks, Amandeep.
Thank you.
Okay, look who is impatiently waiting for answering that question. Is that Sumiti?
Yes, it is me.
Okay, let's go.
So for me, I think I will go with I will stand by what is right for me, and everybody has their own opinion. So like when Mr. YK was talking about the Gandhi statue, I would probably protect that. I would be behind the people who will want to protect that. But the others who are talking about it, it's again the division in India as well, because if you, I don't know how many of you have known about the author Subramaniam. He was also a member of parliament who actually wrote the book about Indira Gandhi and all that, her biography, which mentioned about Gandhi. That's why everybody said that we need to remove the Gandhi statue. But at the same time, when you talk about the CIA issue, I cannot stand behind them. The reason is, as it is, India is divided with Hindus and Muslims. And then if you want to get the same thing over here, I don't think that's the right thing to do. So I'm going to stand by what is right, what I think. And as an Indian person in the community, I have helped to create so many events just to create awareness about the Indian festivals, about Sikhism, about Punjabi culture, because I am a Punjabi. So I would stand by what is right. But for me, Indian culture and Indian heritage is going to be a goal to spread in this community. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to embrace the other cultures. I'm going to do the same thing by other cultures as well, but I'm going to promote my culture as well. That's where I stand.
Okay, thank you. What do you say, Hari?
I mean, there are some points here. I hear, and I really completely agree with Amandeep and YK and Sumiti that we got to listen to other people. It's important. But I think if you're talking about what's India for me, it's a motherland, without a doubt. And what's America for me, it's a working land. And it's the second motherland. You can say my, what is that? Mother, sister, whatever, aunt, whatever. But the thing is, when it comes about India culture and all that, regardless of which government is leading India, I would stand for it, whatever it is. Now, I see that some of you getting into the concept of CAA. I think we got to read that one more time. It's nothing against a minority, as far as I understand it, 37 pages written in Indian government document, because he's talking about the Hindus, Christians, and Jains, and Buddhists. All those people have gone to Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh, who are become refugees, needs citizenship. So that's an important thing to do, because in those countries, they are refugees. So that's what it is. So I would request everybody to read CAA one more time, please.
Thanks, Hari. Jaya.
Okay, so I am very proud to be an Indian American. I'm a first generation immigrant. A lot of you may not know my father is a former member of parliament and served his constituency extremely well. And a lot of those examples that I took from watching him is the value of community service and also the importance of bringing those values to the United States. So as an Indian American, you know, my culture, my religion, and my views are shaped from when I grew up there. I came to the US only when I was 21. So, you know, I definitely want those values to be popular over here too. The values of acceptance, the value of secularism, and the value of community service, which I think it's deeply rooted in almost all of our religions that we practice in India. With regard to what I would do in my power, I think it, you know, has to go back to what I've said before is how does it relate to my community? If my constituents are going to be affected by an issue that is related to what's happening in terms of current events in India, I think one of the things that I want to do is to be educated about it, but also not to say things that will inflame issues or will inflame passions and cause divide. Unless there is a reason for me to make a decision, I would probably want to stay away from it unless there's an impact in the community and that if people are asking for guidance or leadership on it. So thank you.
Thanks, Jaya. Thank you. Okay, any guesses who is the next? Siri.
Hey, so as Jaya mentioned, you know, we are Indian American, and I am as deeply patriotic to India as I am to America. And in that sense, right? So there are a lot of things that we do here to go promote India. Shivesh, as you know, I've been the Intel India president, where we try to promote the Indian culture within the tech company. Same as in the city of Rancho, Cordova, we have an international fest where we promote Indian. We now have the city collaborating with us to have a Holi festival, a kite festival, a flower festival. So we're trying to promote the Indian culture here in Rancho, Cordova. So, you know, that brings more awareness. Now, to say with certain policies that are happening in India and if they're controversial and they needed our comment on this, for example, the CAA, initially I didn't have a lot of understanding, and so my reaction was to go seek a knowledgeable person in this to go understand what it is, and then, you know, have a better understanding on how to react. So I would say, you know, go and any Indian acts that are there, if we are supposed to make a comment, then go dig deep before you react.
Thanks, Siri. And just to check with the team, we covered every candidate on this question.
Yes, Shivesh, you did cover, and thank you to all the candidates for answering the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paresh, for asking that. And we have Satish asking the third and the last question in this round.
Thank you, Shivesh. This question is for all candidates, and this is regarding Kashmir. On August 2019, Indian government abolished Article 370, special status to one of its state, Kashmir. What is your stand on this issue?
Okay, we'll start with Sumiti this time.
You starting when I already told you I know nothing about Indian politics, but thankfully I know a little bit about it.
I read your mind. Go ahead.
Thanks for being so kind to me. The Article 370, what I know is, correct me if I'm wrong so that I can give you a right answer. It was kind of a law which said that Jammu and Kashmir can have their own governance, right? And then the others, the Delhi government will not have any say on it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, part of that, yes.
Yes. So for me, I don't think that was the right thing. I don't know, maybe because I am more friends with the people who are in Congress. So that way I get information from there because I do not know the deep details, or I do not read articles about India politics per se. So I think that was not a right thing to do. I think Jammu Kashmir should have their own government, should have their own body, like we have city council. They should have their own things, and Delhi should not govern it because they would not know the issues, what happens in the state. So whatever happens in the state, it should be resolved with the elected officials in that particular state or in that particular area.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Siri, you are next.
So I visited Kashmir and Jammu both as a kid, and it is not a misfact when they say it's literally heaven on earth. And, you know, I am deeply disappointed that a lot of you guys probably never visited that place. So, you know, this fact that, you know, 370 now opens it up that you can have more, you know, private investments that can actually spur growth and employment that actually leads to prosperity of all. It opens the doors. You know, we can still have that handicraft industry that it allows. You know, I want Kashmir to be a booming state, a great part of India. So yeah, sorry, I'm with Article 370 here.
Just to clarify, you are with lifting the Article 370 or?
No, with Article 370. So I would like, I'm in agreement that, you know, we need it for, you know, promoting more industries, private investment, you know, tourism. We need to open back that tourism. You guys need to go see Dal Lake. It's beautiful.
Okay. So I think the views are okay. You know, we need to get a little more information to you, which we'll do later. But yeah, you know, so everybody heard your views. Okay, let's move to YK.
I know Siri, like Siri, I read a little bit on that one as well, at least because some of the questions are going to be on Indian origin. When lifting the Article 370, maybe that's what Siri is trying to say, it is going to open up to everyone to go to Kashmir, just like any other state, and perish or boom the economy. I think I'm going to use the Siri word, right? So, but before Article 370 was lifted, it was not. It's very restricted. And the Indian government took that stand. And yes, initially there was some disagreements inside the India as I was reading this fresh in my mind. And yes, there was something, you know, from the outside India also, the neighboring countries, some rumors. But India stood very strong. That is the right thing to do for India. So I like that. And hopefully, I haven't seen anything, that kind of negativity, even in the United States, why India did that. Because India strongly believed that is the right thing. Lifting the Article 370, opening the Kashmir to the remaining states, it is one of the other states. They can go and establish themselves. They can buy the property and put the business, stay home and enjoy whatever the city said, those nice views and temples and all those. So lifting the 370, I'm for it.
Great, thanks. Move to Amandeep.
Yeah, I'm from the neighboring state of Kashmir, and I have been to Dal Lake and all those places what Siri mentioned. It's a great what you guys think about that. Okay, it's going to open up opportunities and all that. But my concern is the main reason for we are here. Everybody got a green card, then they got a citizenship, and then we are enjoying this lifestyle here. 60 years down the road, if the government of US says that we are canceling all your green cards and citizenship because you are of Indian origin and you need to go back, it's the same situation. The Indian government made a pact with someone. They set up this for some purpose, and then unilaterally going in and saying, okay, because the rest of the states are with us and this is only one state, we're going to single it out and we're going to cancel its status, and it's going to merge it just for the pretense of that, okay, we're going to develop it, we're going to do this, that. India has plenty of land to develop wherever they want to develop it. They could have done that. It's more about the main reason that if you have a pact with somebody, you come to a conclusion, you sold somebody something, you bought something, it's yours. It's not that 60 years down the road or 70 years down the road, the other people come in and they say, okay, we're canceling it, you go back. So I'm coming from that angle. From that angle, I feel that they did the wrong thing. And plus, bifurcating the state into 2 union territories even worse. They could have at least left it as a state. So it seems like there was some ill will to that.
Okay, moving to Hari.
Yeah, Shiveshi wanted some disagreement. I have some disagreement with people here, some people at least, because I've been having disagreement for some time now. I think some of you had to read 370 article pretty well, because it was done a name called as Hari Singh, which starts with my first name. It is a lot of history. I don't have time to talk about it, but lifting the 370 article was a good step. And going back to Siri said, it was a heaven, but it was made as a hell in the last 7 decades because of that. Because a couple of families misused all the budget, all the money went to the state in the name of helping the people. And tourism is gone, education is gone, everything is gone. And because of that, other country infiltrated into that part of the country. And going back to Aman said, that's not a different country. It's a state of one of the 30 states of India. And therefore, lifting a 370 was a good step, because going back to what Siri said, that's where the development will happen in the future. And I'm from a college where we always had 2 refugee Hindu Pandits from Kashmir every year because of the institute I went to, and they become refugees in their own country with having so much of wealth in Kashmir, which is such a sad part. They've been kicked out of their homes, their business and everything, and that's been made a hell for 7 decades. Therefore, 370 lifting was the best idea, and I hope we see best developments in the Kashmir in the future, and we'll see less infiltration from Pakistan in the future. That's my stand.
Okay, thanks, Hari. Jaya, you are the next.
So I am not well read on this issue at all, but here's my political science and international relations background, which I have a master's in international relations, undergrad in political science. So to me, I think you have to look at not only the will of the people, but also the background and history, as a lot of our members have said. It's a highly complex and also an emotional issue, because I think if you look at the history of India that we've all studied, at least when I was in India, right? And the formation of Kashmir as the special status, having been given that because of the trade that was made with the Maharaja over there, in allowing for some of these princely states to become a part of the Indian Union at that time. So I think if you're looking at that, if you're looking at the will of people, and because of subsequent invasions from neighboring countries, let's just name it. We're all like skirting around the issue. Subsequent invasions from Pakistan and establishing a line of control, which went into what we in India, or at least me when I was in India, would say that was our part of the land, right? That now I feel that it's become so incredibly complex, because we don't know if referendums or elections actually reflect the will of the people. So when it's that muddled, how are you as a democracy going to allow the voice of the people to prevail? Where I see that at least what I've read on social media, and like I said, I don't have an accounting for someone to give me accurate facts, but where I see problems with how 370 came about, there was a period of time where the entire communications for people in Kashmir was cut out. To me, that was incredibly problematic, because you don't know if there are human rights violations occurring. You don't know if people have needs. And there was a lot of communication that I was seeing on Twitter about some of the conditions that people were going through. So like I said, don't have an informed answer on this, but I think balance is required. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. So checking with the team, did we cover all the candidates?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so please give us your 10 more minutes. And I know we had initial hiccups on the connections and people joining. So just give us 10 more minutes. I'll go to each candidate and we have the closing remarks, and I'll give you 1 minute for that. And so let's go one by one. So I'll just pick candidate, and please just do your closing remark and sell yourself as best as you can. Okay. And then we'll just have a quick vote of thanks, and then we'll finish the event. Okay, so let me, since we have Jaya on the screen, why not use her and ask her to do her closing remarks.
Great. Well, thank you again for everyone for not only your attention, but also hosting and organizing this. I have always said that we as a community need to be more vocal and more active and more connected from a political front. You know, we have had many incidents that have occurred, not only nationally, but also locally and domestically, that we need proper representation on. We need to stop bullying, we need to stop discrimination, and we need to ensure that our families and our children see the potential to become leaders, look at us as role models, and look at others in the community to grow. I want our Indian community to be more active and to be more vocal, to support us not only as candidates, but also to give you the ability to say, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. So remember this when you get your ballots in a couple of weeks. Vote for those that support your values and your vision of making, especially Folsom, more diverse. We need representation on our council. You can find out more about me and my platform at www.jayabadigaforfolsom.com. I want everyone to know that fundraising has been especially difficult in this pandemic. And if you want our message to be widely spread, please contribute and donate. Thank you.
Thanks, Jaya, and good luck for your election.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving to Amandeep.
I was muted. Thank you for setting up this forum and inviting me to share my thoughts about it. And I really appreciate this hard work that you guys put into this whole process. Just on the Elgrove side, citizens, I'm one of the only candidates from Indian origin, and I'm dealing with all different type of candidates out here, from LGBT people, from black color, white race, everything. So I would like to get the support of all the people, all the Indian community that is able to vote in this district. To know more about me, they can go to votesingh.com is the easiest thing. Just to let you a little bit know that, yes, it's always nice to speak the same language what other people are speaking and not to call yourself out. I would like to have the discussion. I would like to have the conversation so that we can all make a better decisions. One thing I'm a little concerned, and this is for the forums and other people to realize, we are on the first generation or second generation who have ties back to India. The next generation will not have ties back to India. They will be, somebody said our kids are Indian kids. No, they are gonna be American kids. Certainly they're gonna have brown color, but they will be American kids. They will think like them. What I see that people got sent out from India, from Punjab, Maharashtra, and a couple other states to Fiji, and now the Fiji culture is so mixed up. You don't understand what they're actually speaking or talking, and they are neither Hindi, neither Fijian language. They got mixed up. We need to make sure that our culture stays intact. So the people from first, second generation, please stay intact. Let the third generation be completely Americanized, not make them Punglish or English, whatever that name could be. So thank you for doing this. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, Amandeep, and good luck for the election.
Thank you.
Hari.
Amandeep has become my favorite. I mean, I kind of disagree with him on this. You know, yeah, Funglish should not happen. That's why, going back to what Jaya said, we got to pass on the legacy to our future leaders. You know, that's one of the reasons I do whatever I do here. And, you know, my campaign team belongs to all college students and young kids in high school. And we got to teach them the local politics, local administration, governments, but also we have to tell them our culture, our root, and everything. That's so, so important. If you forget your roots, it's tough in life, because in your color, you know, color is still a color. People recognize you by color, unfortunately. That's what the fact is. We are brown still. So anyways, campaigning for me, my website is Shetty for FCESD2.com, and there's a Facebook as well. And I'm competing against other two people, and one of them is Joanne. She's been there for 20 years without any competition. And before that, before I run for this, I called Jaya because I was thinking Jaya will run again. Because I have a lot of respect for Jaya and all of you pretty much, regardless of whether I have disagreement with Amandeep or something. I think all people of our color here, people from our origin, first, second, or third generation, still, we should vote for our people. It's important to show our thing, because when I went for the national convention, I was the only one person of brown color. Asia means I was representing Asia as an Indian, whereas other people are from other part of Asia, which like, well, we are not a part of Asia kind of thing. That's my question. So with that being said, I'm glad that you're all doing this. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this. And I'm competing against, after Jaya said I'm not running for school, I talked to Joanne to tell her that I'm running for school, and she had so much overconfidence. She told me, you can run for school, but I'm still going to win because I've been winning for the last 4 or 5 terms. Then I thought, I'm so motivated to run this time, regardless of whether win or lose, because winning and losing is not in my control. But you win me, I'll win it.
Shivesh, you are muted.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Hari, and good luck for the election. You guys can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So moving to Sumiti.
All right. Thank you so much for this forum. I really enjoyed. I know I did not have the same opinion like everybody else has, but what I bring to the board if I get elected is an immigrant parent perspective who has volunteered at multiple Natomas school sites. I've partnered with district administration, teachers, and parents to support vulnerable students. I currently serve as a City of Sacramento's Youth Park and Community Enrichment Commissioner, appointed by Mayor Pro Tem Angelique Ashby, and I am the first Indian woman to be appointed for this position. I'm a member of various NUSD committees like School Site Council, Parent Advisory Board with the Superintendent Chris Evans, Citizens Bond Oversight Committee for Measure JNL, which makes improvements to our schools and build new campuses like Paso Verde School, Westlake, and Natomas Charter Star Academy. I'm also a published author, and I have written extensively about parenting, parent involvement in schools, and the important role of educators, about race, gender stereotypes, and about the racism and an immigrant woman's perspective on systemic racism. I've been a guest contributor for 10 episodes for ABC 10 digital series, Moms Explain All and 3 Moms and a Dad, in which we talk about how to talk to kids about race, how are we a helicopter parent or another parent. So more engaging conversations. I have the passion for serving and understanding of challenges in classroom and new ideas to improve outcomes to the board. And also I want to say that I am the first Indian woman in City of Sacramento to run for a school board. There have been Indian men, but not Indian women. So yes, I would need your support, and thank you all. And I feel honored to be on this platform with all of you. I think you all are so amazing. And SAC for New India, love that forum. I had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sumiti. And again, apologies for starting with your incorrect name, but I have repeated it so many times. Next time I'm going to be right.
I bet you will not be able to say my kid's name.
Yeah, so thank you very much, and good luck for the election. Can we move to YK?
Yeah, again, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. I know I met all the candidates here, and as if I am talking to them live. As the Folsomites know, I have been very active in the community for the last decade plus. And I'm going to show this little picture. This is the t-shirts where I volunteer or I'm a member. We do have an Indian community, some of them. But by and large, most of the local communities, Indian communities and Asian communities, everything. So I'm running for the city council to represent the entire Folsom. But when I decided to run for the city council in 2016, that time I was the Parks Commissioner, the first thing came into my mind is my community is with me. That is the strong gut feel in my mind to run this election. I'm talking 4 years ago. With that support, I ran in 2018 and I did extremely well. I'm running again this year, and I'm hoping, our community support and the entire community support. I like the Jaya word again. You have 2 people to, pick. Jaya and I are running not against each other. So please think and support us. Thank you, everyone, again.
Thanks, Chalam, and good luck for the election. Okay, guess who is the next and the last? Siri, Pulapati.
Last but not the least.
No?
So, as I mentioned, earlier in my comments, it was my dad that kind of came here and pushed me into community involvement here in Sacramento. And we as parents need to role model for our kids because they look at us and then when they come up in the future, they see these are the roles that are opening up for them in terms of civic duties, whatever professions that they want to choose. So I think we need to role model for our kids. This is a completely new area for me, and I think for a lot of candidates here, it's an uphill battle. We have our friends here that are really supporting us and hand-holding us through this, but fundraising is a huge part of our campaign, and we really need your support. So we have your websites. Any contribution that you guys can give, will help us put a yard sign or a banner or a flyer to get our name out. So if you're not in our city and I can't vote for us, you can definitely contribute to our campaign, and that itself is a blessing. Thank you.
Thanks, Siri. And let me announce an Oscars for keeping on the time. Okay, so the Oscar goes to Siri and Jaya. Throughout the whole discussion, you guys really, and Hari too, you guys kept to the time on most of the questions.
Forgot me.
Yeah.
I was keeping an eye on my
I know.
phone here.
Yeah. So, but it's just on a lighter note. There's no award like that. You can, have a nice dinner today. So anyways, great discussions, great hearing all of the candidates. Was very nice to meet some of you. I know most of you, but was really glad to meet a few more. And I'm really hopeful that we have a very good line of leadership in making, starting from Elk Grove to Folsom, right? And hopefully we'll have some election in El Dorado Hills also, and then, Roseville and all that, where we have Indian candidates running. So good luck, everybody. I will hand it over to Venu Malesra for a quick vote of thanks.
Thanks, Shivesh. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. On behalf of Sacramento for New India Forum, I would like to thank, first of all the Indo-American aspirants who are running for various public offices. I think we all agree that great to see your passion to serve the community and at the same time, right, promoting the Indian culture and heritage. Hope this continues forever. We try to cover as much questions as possible from the community. So thanks for addressing the community questions and answering them. Also, whole community is watching this program, and there are some questions on the Facebook Live as well. We would love to hear from you on those questions. If you can visit our Facebook page, Sacramento for New India, and then answer the questions, that will be great. Second, I would like to thank all the Sacramento Indians who have joined this forum through the Zoom session. Third, and there are people across the world who are watching the Facebook Live session. We would love to thank them. And most importantly, the organizing team who are the co-host here, apart from the candidates, and also the event committee, right, who made this possible. We would love to thank all the folks. And as we mentioned in the beginning, right, this is an effort to provide a collaboration platform for the Indian community. We wish all the best to all the candidates and hope you all succeed in your missions. On behalf of the Sacramento for New India Forum, thank you everyone. This concludes the session. Until the next time, namaste, take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
Okay, I think we are done. Just 15 minutes past. I think we started 15 minutes late.
Arrow illa ankontane.
Yeah, I think we can stop and we can join later.
Yeah,
For
sure.
SG is recording it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.